Let's hear it for Aleks Midnight, everybody.
So I have jailbait face. People see this face in the airport and they want to give me a lollipop and help me find my mommy. Some people ask if they can be my daddy. But I am an adult, I am. I'm 29 years old. I know, I'm shocked too. But I'll prove it. I'm in the middle of buying a house right now. I know, what the fuck, I'm such an adult, right? But I was a little nervous at first buying a house because house shopping has been a little bit of a roller coaster for my family historically. My grandma in Russia got a hand-me-down condo from her brother's wife's best friend's mother's alcoholic boyfriend. And then my mom and dad, in the 90s with their realtor, they walked in on a lady getting her pussy eaten out by her dog on the living room sofa. But then we bought that house. So I guess that was a selling point. My mom's sitting right there. So I was ready to find the first regular house with no major problems or dogs and be done with it. But let me tell you, the house buying process, so many new fears unlocked. Okay, for one, this is the end of being naked window neighbor. I can't just up and move apartments anymore. I'm stuck with the reputation. Don't want to piss off the HOA. Or worse, turn them on. And on top of that, I learned that garage door sensors can kill your dog. I don't have a dog, but I am worried about it. And the hardest thing about buying a house is figuring out where to buy a house, right? I had an incident a couple weeks ago where I got stuck in Atlanta traffic. We've all been there, right? Just parked on 285. And I had to pee. Really bad. And I have the bladder of a squirrel. So I see this mug in the passenger seat, in the corner of my eye, that my lovely realtor had just given me an hour prior as a little token of appreciation. And that's the story of how I peed in a mug in Atlanta traffic and still stayed in this city. Yeah. So, anyone else? Just me? Cool. But we're in the middle of packing for the big move right now. And you would think getting help with packing is a good idea, but my mother-in-law visited last week, and our bodies, minds, and spirits were not ready. Love my mother-in-law. But she would try to walk into any room or closet or box, and my partner would go, "You can't go in there." And when she asked why, he panicked and said, "Too many sex toys!" So that's how that visit went. We're doing the rest of our packing on our own now. Yeah. But we actually officially signed the paperwork for the house this past Friday. Yep. Closed. So it's real. It's official. We're really officially in an excruciatingly large amount of debt for the next 30 years. So I'm ready to taste some privilege and tax evasion. And yes, I am already complaining about being a homeowner. 3 days into it. 2, I guess. But it's kind of like a theme park, right? It's like you fell down an elevator shaft and you're not sure if it's part of the ride or if you're just fucked. That's what it feels like to own a property. It's great. Yeah, but in the midst of this twilight zone of adulthood, it is good to have ways to blow off steam a little bit, you know, hobbies, as they say. So I've been obsessed with watching Alabama sorority girls on YouTube lately, you know? It calms me, it's my guilty pleasure. It's like when sexually repressed Christian men are watching porn and then their wife walks in on them, so they close the browser really quickly. That's me, with my sorority influencers. it's very interesting. It's like I get this inner look into the lives of these Southern white girls that I went to high school with. I don't know if I want to be them or if I want them to be my mommy. Because think about it, they could do my budget, they could decorate for my birthday parties, they could buy me lollipops at the airport. It makes sense. It does. But another hobby of mine is judging men on Tinder. So recently, I went out with a few of my friends over the weekend. This is related, I promise, we'll get there. And we ended up at an Ethiopian after party. That's right, an Ethiopian after party. No, it wasn't a bunch of white kids in blackface at an Africa-themed party. I learned that's not okay for my Alabama YouTubers. It was just a party at my Ethiopian friend's house. But at this party, my friend was swiping on Tinder, and she came across a guy named Hope. Now, I've met a lot of girls named Hope, but I don't know about you, I've never met a guy named Hope. So I was trying to imagine what this kid's parents were hoping for. An engineer, a doctor. I'd say a nice Jewish boy, but then they would have named him David. I can say that, I'm Jewish, it's okay. But all they actually got was a 7'2", half-naked man holding a dead fish on Tinder, promising to shave the shaft for that extra inch. So she swiped right. Yeah, Tinder men, gotta love them. I'm married, by the way. But I'm also a bit of a hypochondriac. I know most of this country uses WebMD for advice these days. I mean, true, it might overdiagnose you with 7 different types of cancer, but at least it's affordable. But my hypochondria comes from a source. I was born with a hole in my heart. I know, it sounds like a metaphor, but it's true. I do have a hole in my heart. And I've tried filling it with healthy eating and cardio and sex dungeons. Oh, no, not that one. But it turns out it is actually just a congenital heart defect. So, I have that on top of the jailbait phase condition. Life is a roller coaster. I'm honestly a bit of a roller coaster as a person, though. I mean, so in middle school, I discovered this website that really changed the trajectory of who I would become as a person. It was a great learning resource of sorts for a nerd like me. Like an online textbook, but before textbooks were all on iPads and phones and the internet. efucked.com. You ever heard of 3-Tit Tammy? Yeah. My husband has. So yeah, she taught me a lot. She taught me to accept myself, you know, as I am. And I do generally accept myself as a person. I mean, sure, I've done some things that I'm not proud of. We all have. But you live and you learn. But I was a little devious in college. My grandfather died 7 times. And it was my fault. You see, I used to fake funeral pamphlets every time I wanted to get out of an exam, but in Russian, so the professors couldn't question it. And the worst part is, I never actually got to go to his real funeral, because it was, well, in Russia. And my mom's never heard that story before, so sorry, Mom. That's our dad I'm talking about. So speaking of my grandfather, is anyone else truly dead inside? I mean, let's look back. 2020, COVID. 2021, therapy. I mean, all of us, come on. 2022, Zoloft. 2023, I'm here now pursuing comedy in the US of A, my depression desperation hobby. So clearly, in my quarter-life mental health crisis of the century that you get a front seat ticket to, you're welcome. But I have found a temporary solution for the world's bullshit. RTB. Room temperature baths, baby. Something about sitting in tepid bath water for 48 to 72 hours, well, binge watching E-Fucked just brings me joy. I like to curl up in the fetal position and really recreate that environment when I was happy in the good old days, in the womb. I mean, it's not like you can roll through McDonald's and ask for a large hug with a side of fries and affection these days. You gotta take what you can get. But I was, in high school, I was all right, I was okay. I was a mathlete, top of the class, honors student, head of the math team. That was really cool. And then it just went downhill from there. Because here I am, just a little shit on stage, trying not to take a little shit in my pants before the end of this set. So thank you for listening, and don't forget to tip your servers and hide your sex toys. I'm Aleks Midnight.